Joey Catherine Ham, Brian Wilson, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you. The Morning Majority, 630. WMAL.
It's 7:07. You know, yesterday we started talking about this flash mob incident in Germantown, Maryland. If you know Germantown, it's the 7-Eleven right there next to the Roy Rogers, not far from there. Apparently on Sunday morning about 2 a.m., around 30 young people entered the store as if on cue. In fact, it was on cue. And they basically ransacked the place. They just took a bunch of items. They were in and out in about a minute. It was a flash mob. And a lot of people in the Morning Majority very upset about this and what it portends. And we thought we'd do some follow-up work on that this morning. Joining us on the phone line now is Captain Paul STARKS. He is a spokesman for the Montgomery County Police. Captain, thank you for joining us here on WMAL.
Good morning. Thanks for covering the story.
Well, it's a story there is a tremendous amount of interest in. I must tell you from our audience, they truly want to know more about this. So I have a couple of questions. Number one, have you had any luck in identifying the people who did this? I mean, looking at the video, I would imagine it's very hard to draw from the videos, where they often obscured their faces, pulled up their hoods and other things, to actually get a picture of who these people are.
Right. As soon as this was assigned to detectives, they were able to determine that there are 28 individuals seen in this video. And once we posted it on YouTube, and of course the media has given it a lot of attention, we had many people from the community who were at least concerned and probably outraged as well, giving us information. We've also been using other sources in the community, like our school resource officers with their network of knowledge in the public high schools up county. And as of late last night, I believe we have close to half of these individuals with tentative identification.
Well, that's remarkable. So what kind of charges could these people face?
Also, from close to the very beginning of this investigation, we've been coordinating with our state's attorney's office. They've, been discussing charges as basic as theft and conspiracy to commit theft. And there's also some other things that they're discussing, but we just haven't been able to confirm that kind of detail until we speak with the individuals involved and really see what each one of them are involved in.
Is it possible, and is this one of the things that's being examined, that you could bring conspiracy charges against these people since they got on apparently the internet to conspire to do this thing?
Yes, and that's one of the topics that one of the laws that was discussed. Absolutely.
Well, Ken, what do Montgomery County Police recommend to other store owners that they do if a situation like this happens again, where you have 28 people or however many people walk into a store and start robbing the place?
Well, generally, as in where there's any crime, I believe that this clerk was in fear and intimidated. So as best you can, keep your thoughts about, and wits about you, and contact the Montgomery County Police. Dial 911. As soon as you believe that there's something, wrong in your establishment, or even and before it begins, give us a call so we can start out there and possibly have a presence and prevent such an occurrence.
Does the police force have a strategy for doing sort of preventive police work around this kind of thing, monitoring social networks, that sort of stuff?
Well, our Vice Intelligence Unit has been on the social networking forums in the past. Mostly that's involved other crimes such as prostitution, right, and human trafficking. There are so many sites and so many places to monitor. That would be tough to do. What we would depend on is other folks in the community, if they see something or hear about something, much like any other crime, when they believe something is about to occur, to give us a call, let us know about it, so we can begin to take action.
Do you think that, I mean, luckily in this particular case there was no violence, but we've seen other places around the country where some of these flash mobs have been really violent. Is that something you're concerned about?
I think public safety and law enforcement are concerned about that, and not just in Montgomery County, but throughout the world. Again, I can only speak for Montgomery County, but yeah, and to back up to a question you asked me a minute ago about what businesses should do. The clerk did not get involved or try to stop these people the other night, and we don't recommend that somebody involve themselves that way, but just give us a call.
Is this another reason why you'd like to see the curfew put in place? I know Montgomery County is currently considering that possibility.
Right. The police department does support that proposal, and it is believed that such a law might help prevent this, but also it gives a police officer just another tool to approach someone who is under 18 and determine, what they're doing, after the curfew hours.
Okay.
I'm just curious. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. You say you don't want the store owner or the clerk to take action to call police, but would they be justified in defending themselves and defending their property if they tried?
Yes, they would. But we can't suggest somebody put themselves in harm's way.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Captain Paul Starks with the Montgomery County Police Department talking about the big flash mob incident that occurred Sunday morning, 2 a.m. in Germantown.